Sometimes you have files that you don't want Git to add to the staging area or even show you as being untracked. So for this, we'll be using the .gitignore file. Let's see how to use it. So we have the Git learning directory, and in here, let's see our status currently. There, we're on branch Titan, there's nothing to commit, and we have a clean working tree. So let's see the files, and we only have a file 1. Now say you have a requirement that you want to ignore all files that end with .bat. So first you have to create a .gitignore file. We'll use the vim text editor and create a .gitignore file. Now to insert text, I'm gonna hit the letter I, and I'm gonna type *.bat. So what this does is it ignores all the files. The star is a regular expression character that stands for any length of characters, and it could be any characters in those sequence. Now to save this file, I'm gonna hit escape, and I'm gonna hit colon and X. So now that we have our .gitignore file, let's create new files. So touch. I'm going to create 3 files, file 2, file 3, file 4. And now along with this, I'm also going to create 2 files that end with .bat. So say sample.bat and output.bat. Now when I do git status, notice how we have our .gitignore file, file 2, file 3, and file 4. But our files that end with the .bat have not been do not populate in this untracked files list. So this is because we have the .gitignore file, and we've used the regular expression to tell Git to ignore the .bat files. Let's add these files to the staging areas. So to add the files to the staging area, we use git add. And if you want to add individual files, you put the file names here. But if you want to put everything in the current working directory to the staging area, you just put a period. Now if you do git status, see how all these files that were untracked have been sent to the staging area, but not the sample bat and the output bat files. If I list all files, my output bat file and sample bat file still do exist in my working directory, but they're just being ignored by Git. So that's how you use the .gitignore file. Next, let's look at Git settings and how to change your Git settings. So for that, we'll be using this command, gitconfig --list --show origin. So here we have our username, you have our user email address, and you have your default editor and a few other settings. So we use the --show origin flag to show us where these settings have been inputted. You can see that it's in the .gitconfig file, which is in my home directory. Now if I want to change any of these, I could go open this .gitconfig in any of my text editors, and I could edit it. Now why would I want to change any of these? So say for example, I want to change the username under which I make a commit. So the username and the user email address are tagged along with the commit. So if I make a commit now, -m add some sample files. And if I want to see my commits, I type git log, as we've seen in the last video. You can see here that the previous commits have the author name as Shrikar, but the latest commit has the author name as Zafid Beeblebrox. Now I want to change it back to Shrikar. So to do that, I go to gitconfig --show list --show origin. So I can see that my username is defined in the .gitconfig file. So I'm going to use my vim text editor to change the user.name in the gitconfig file. So it's sudo to get to elevate privileges to root, and home vagrant.gitconfig. So once I'm here, I just go to Zafit and I replace this with my name and :x. Now if I see gitconfig --list -show version, I can see that my user.name has been changed. So let's see our files here. Say I want to add some text to file 1 and make another commit. I'm going to use vim editor up there. I'm not saying it's your fault, I'm saying I'm blaming you. To add a new line, the problem is not that this is runs in your family. The problem is that no one runs in your family. Okay, that's my not very nice line, and I'm saving it, and I'm going to add this file to the staging area so you can see my git status. I have a modified file that I would need to commit, so git commit -m changes to file 1. And now if I do git log, you see the author name has changed back to Streaker from Zafid people procs, and that's how you can use git settings to make changes to the configuration of git. Now let's look at getting help. See, oftentimes you're stuck in git and you forget which command to type. You can type git help and it populates a list of commands that you could use. And say you want to get more information about a particular command, you can use the --help flag. So I want to get more information about the clone command. So what I would do is git clone --help, and this would show me a synopsis, description, and other more details of the clone command. So to scroll down in this pager, you could use the letter J, and to scroll up, you could use the letter K. And to exit, it shows you at the bottom, press the letter Q to quit. And that's how you use the help in Git. So finally, let's see short status and one-line logs. So oftentimes, if you make edits to your files, say echo hello world to file 2. So I've added text to file 2. You can see that file 2 has the text hello world in it. And if I do git status, I get a long status message, but say you want a shorter format of this message, you can use the -s flag. So status -s. So here there are two x, so you call this the x and the y. So there are two positions here which show you the status of this file. To get more information about this, you can do git status --help, and the option -s gives you the output in the short format. If you scroll down, I'm hitting the D key. So over here it tells you about the short format. In the short format, the status of each path is shown in one of these forms, x, y, and path. So for untracked paths, x, y is just 2 question marks, and for other status codes can be interpreted as follows. So we've seen an M previously because it was a modified file. Okay, now let's go back. Say I create a new file, touch file 5, and if I do git status, with the -s flag, there are 2 question marks before the file 5, indicating that file 5 is an untracked file and has not been added to the staging area. Next, say I commit them to so git add everything to the staging area, and git commit -m make some changes. It's not a very good commit message, but that'll do. Now to see our commit history, we've previously used the git log command. but this opens up a pager and shows us a long format. This is not very convenient, and we would often want to use one-line logs to get a better view of our commit history. So for that, we would type in git log -- one line. Now this is a much cleaner way of representing your commit history. And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.